Guys, I always forget that, man. I've got this like every time. Jesus Christ. Okay, sorry. So welcome back to the channel, you guys. Glad to see you guys here. Thanks for coming to hang out with me. A couple of bits of business right off the bat. Want to give a couple of shout outs to some people. First and foremost is oldtechlife.com. They followed me on Twitter. I followed them back. Great message from it anyway. They've got a great website. Absolutely fantastic. Really, really is. It's a blog about old technology, right? Which retro technology, which we all love, right? Fantastic website. If you haven't never checked it out before, definitely go and check that out now. And Retro Cheating. Retro Cheating's got a great YouTube channel over at youtube.com/c/retro cheating. Great YouTube channel. Definitely go by and give them a shout out. Make sure you say hi to them, all that good stuff. Now, back on to some business. Time to get to some business. So, what's been going on? Well, a lot of things. The most important of the things that's been going on, I've been throwing out a little bit of information. I'm sorry, something's stuck under my keyboard and it's bothering me. Been throwing out a little information here or there about the status of the prototype, where it's at, what's going on with it, and all those things. So here's what I can tell you right off the bat. It's definitely a work in progress. I'm gonna show you. I wasn't gonna, but I'm gonna. But I wasn't gonna. But now I'm gonna show you. First thing that I want to do is, if I can pop this guy up and take him up over, can I even get a shot? Can I even get a shot? Yeah, that'll work. There you go. So the 3D printers over there whirring away. There's a brand new spool of filament up on the roll. We'll set this guy back down here. So I ran into a gigantic problem. The big problem I ran into is I nearly ran out of filament. Revision 2 of the original Xbox prototype that Microsoft never did release. Revision 2 is printed almost. So the entire back half of it is printed. And I showed you guys that the drawing of it in another video, the previous video to this one. So I've printed the entire back half of it, and there are still some tweaks and changes that I've got to make to it. Nothing major. It's going to be some screw hole locations and recutting the way that I break the pieces up, which again is one of those not a huge deal at all type of things. But I did manage to print the whole back of it. It is assembled. It is fantastic. It's actually really freaking cool. So I've got that done. I'm going to pop it up on the desk in a little bit, and we're going to take a look at it just real briefly because I don't want to show you too much. And the reason I don't want to show you too much is because the 3D printer is whirring away over my shoulder, and I'm going to give you a quick peek, and then we're going to put it down, and I've got the motherboard that I need to recap in it right now. Cause yeah. Sorry about that. You guys know I'm always fighting audio issues or one thing or another. I'm never as prepared as I believe I am in my mind. Yeah. Oh my God, what have I done? I was trying to send a, a message response, and I ended up ruining I've ruined everything. I've ruined absolutely everything. You just wait. Just wait. Just wait. We gotta figure this out. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Let me see if I can just do it this way. Let me see. Maybe I can just do it this way. Maybe if I do it this way. Maybe if I do it this way. We'll just do it this way. I'm sorry. I know I'm supposed to be doing this other thing over there. Sorry. I wanted to send a message back on Twitter. Somebody had sent me one. I wanted to respond to it real quick. Apologies for zoning out completely. What a jerk. So we're going to get the prototype up here. We're going to take a real quick look at it, and then we're going to get into recapping. Tonight's stream is not going to be super long. It's not going to be super long because I don't know, but it's not going to be super long. I'm probably, I've really debated on doing all of this recapping on screen, on stream, or doing it kind of after the fact, or I guess pre-recording it and then sending it to you guys, posting it for you guys. I'm not sure which way I'm going to go with it. We're going to do some tonight. I am also going to stream tomorrow, but it may be later in the evening. I want to do that. And that, of course, depends on the progress of the prototype, because I printed the back half. I got to print the front half. Again, before I can put it together, and I've got something that I feel like I'm comfortable enough to show you guys. So give me 1 second, just 1 second. Oh, we got to talk about something else. Give me just one quick second. Okay, back. Yeah. Other things to talk about. So, when I started my YouTube channel a long time ago, I just kind of grabbed some graphics and just kind of tossed them up there as the thing. And you know, that kind of worked a little bit. It was fine, but it wasn't really what I wanted. So, a couple of weeks back, I had a person on Twitter reach out to me and offer to make some custom graphics and logos and stuff like that. And I looked at it and I looked at it and I thought about it, and I talked around some other people because I really had no idea, you know, what it cost or what you paid for with this stuff. I didn't know. And so I tossed around the idea a little bit with her, and she offered to do it, and her price seemed reasonable at the time. At any rate, I ended up choosing not to do business with her, not of any fault necessarily of hers. Her prices were just significantly higher than I was willing to pay. And so, but I really did want like a cool logo or I don't even know what you call it, right? The little banner and the background and all that stuff. I really wanted something cool like that for you guys. And for me, I wanted it really cool. So backing up from that, I couldn't really, the price that she wanted was just a little bit higher than I really wanted to pay. Not anything wrong with it. It was just a lot higher than I really wanted to pay. And so I ended up not I ended up choosing to not go with her, and instead, I decided to, like, I looked at Fiverr, and there were some great people on there that did some wonderful things. Absolutely super talented. But I decided, listen, I've got a monster of a laptop, and I've got, all of these programs on here. Maybe I can make something of my own, and as it turns out, I could not. But what I could do, and I'm going to grab the mobile cam, I'm going to flip over, and I'm going to show you a picture in the background. I don't know, yeah, you guys should be able to see him right there. Let me just pop him up there. So there you go. So that guy right there in the background, that's me. Now, a good, very dear friend of mine had that made for me a couple of Christmases back, and we play Grand Theft Auto quite a bit together. We used to play a lot more than we do now, but at any rate, he had that made for me, and it's got my oppressor and all that stuff on it. And so I took that picture, and I took a picture of the picture. I took it out of its frame, and I laid it out flat and got the lighting pretty decent on it. And then I used, I think it's Photoscape. Yeah, Photoscape X. I used Photoscape and made my own. And that's kind of the background and the intro and all that stuff that you guys see there. Come here, mouse. So I made this screen. Let me transition over. No, the stream's not starting soon. It's kind of already started, but I made that guy with the console underneath it, and then I made this guy, which is just a break. Yeah, that one. Yeah. So the one that you've been looking at, or that you've already seen. Yeah, I did those, and then I switched over and I made the background on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and I think TikTok. And anyway, I changed all those, which are really cool. And so yeah, so I did that stuff. That was awesome. I'm really proud of the way it turns out, of the way that it turned out. I think I think for somebody with absolutely zero skill whatsoever at doing this, I didn't do a bad job. Considering I took the picture of the picture on my phone, and then I used an app on my phone, which was like a background eraser or something like that. Basically, it mostly captured the background, and then converted it over to a PNG file, and then I just tossed in a circuit board in the background, some console PNGs down at the bottom, and layered them up and put some highlights on them and all that stuff. Anyway, so man, we talked a bunch. Okay, you guys ready? You ready? You ready to see it? Okay, I'm gonna put it over here, and then we're gonna switch over to, let me queue up the mobile cam and get him ready. We'll queue him up. I'm gonna put it up here just real quick. Are you guys ready? Are you ready? You ready? Did you see it? That's all you get. That little real quick zip across. That's all you're getting. That's it. No, just give me a second. Let me get a camera set up. So, you ready? There you go. So, as you guys can see, everything fits perfectly. I don't have the power supply physically in it, but it does. I didn't make the standoffs for this one, so I've got to make the standoffs for it, but that's no big deal. Board fits perfectly. Disk drive fits absolutely snugly perfectly, just how I want it, or the hard disk drive. The main disk drive fits absolutely flawlessly. Man, it fits great. The board fits perfectly. The heat sinks are an absolute amazingly great fit. Let me get this up there a little bit so you guys can see that. Yeah, there you go. So everything is a really, 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 really good fit. I even got the little slats in it, in the back sides of it, and this side, and this side. Yep, I even got those. And I've got you guys probably can't see it, but there are tiny little screw holes in each one of these that will attach the front piece to this. So where am I going to put that? I want to put it there. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to transition. Let's do this one. Let's do the top down. So what I don't want you to be concerned about at all, is the quality of the printing. I'm not. This is very. It's got a lot of skips in it and things like that. And I was running at a very high speed. So here's what I can tell you, and I'm going to tell you this while I take this apart because I need the board out. Here's what I can tell you. Print time wise, it's a mouthful. Print time wise, it took at high speed. High speed and low quality, it took in the neighborhood of 12 to 14 hours per section. So when I say per section, I printed the top two pieces as one section and the bottom two pieces. So what you're seeing here is is in the neighborhood of 24 to 30-ish hours of printing. Just straight up, nonstop, running. And that's, again, running at a way higher speed than I normally would run. What does that mean for the long term? So when we actually go to print it, what does that mean? So the short answer is, what that means is that this thing is going to take literally forever to print. Because we're not, I'm sorry, I'm finding a spot for this thing to sit. So, come here, you. Where are you? There you go. So, printing a prototype and just rapid prototyping it out, that's fine, right? You can rip those out real quick, without any problem at all. And when I say without any problem at all, you know, the bigger it is and the more complicated the structure is, the longer it's going to take to print, and all of that being what it is. So it's just going to take some more time to print it. However, when we transition over from something that is, you know, going to take, or going to be a final product, I guess you could say, to something that we would want on our shelf, that amount of time that it takes to print that goes up dramatically. And when I say dramatically, you know, what I mean is, instead of taking 11 or 12 hours or 13 hours, as a matter of fact, I think one of the bottom half of it ended up taking like 17 hours of printing, or 18. I don't remember it to be exact. But I know that it was substantial. Like it was, I was like, oh my God. But that's in prototype. And so with prototype, and when I say prototype, that is me printing faster and not being concerned about quality than I am printing slower and wanting really high quality. When I transition that over for the final build piece, man, we're talking, if I had to put a guess at it, I'd say the bottom part is going to take 36 hours. And I say the bottom part, the back half of it is going to take 36 hours. The front half is probably going to take in the neighborhood of 25, 26. Because there's not as much to it, and then I've still got to print a faceplate, which will be 4 separate pieces. But those will print. I'll have to slow those down even more, and so that they look a lot better, because that's going to be the front of it, which you actually see, right? And then I've got to print it back, which will take not very long at all. And then I've got to use the resin printer. I've got to get some clear resin in so I can make the jewel. I've got tons of LED lights and all that stuff we're going to be putting on it. So, yeah, I did order 2 brand new spools of filament. One of them is currently on the machine now, whirling away. I say whirling away, he's printing, he's doing his thing. Because I got to print the front half of it. So, you know, I'm looking at another, if I print all night tonight, then I can print part of the day tomorrow, maybe into tomorrow night. If I start the print early enough, and I might have something tomorrow night, kind of the shell, not including the faceplate or the backplate, but I might have that by then, maybe. So yeah, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take a quick break because it's time for me to take some of my medications and all that, and then I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna jump into some recapping, all right, of this guy. So let me switch over here. New thing. It's the thing. The thing's here. It's gonna be awesome. It's great. Voila! Check that guy out. Look at that. It's amazing. It's amazing. Look at it. It's great. Yeah. So I'm gonna take a quick break and I'll be right back. Well, we're back. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, so I noticed something on. The title, apparently OBS failed me horribly and didn't update. So I updated it while I was gone. And then while I was gone, my wife called. She is out on a girls' night. Is my microphone dying? Is it dying? Come on. I think it's dying. Maybe it'll be okay. I don't know. Harry Tornado, what's up, buddy? Thanks for tuning in. Good to see you. So the Xbox that I'm working on is actually the Xbox that I got from you right now. So yeah, thanks. I haven't gotten around to working on all of them yet, but I've got around to working on this one. So yeah, that's awesome. I appreciate it, man. And listen, if you get any more, give me a shout, dude. Don't hesitate. For those of you guys that weren't around earlier, a couple streams ago, go check out Harry Tornado. He's in the chat right now. He's got a killer YouTube channel. Does amazing things. He's kind of local to my area. He goes around and finds just killer deals on vintage things, whether they're in Goodwill or in yard sales and auctions and whatever else. And he resells them. He's got a great YouTube channel, teach you lots of stuff about that whole thing. I have no ability whatsoever to do that, none. But him and his wife, both of them, great people, super nice, and they just have an absolutely fantastic YouTube channel. So thanks for coming by, man. I appreciate it. It's good to see you in the chat there. So I guess guys, without further ado, let's I guess let's switch over and let's get to work on this thing. Oh my God, I left the heat gun on all day. That's fantastic. I guess we should probably fire up all of the equipment, which if I was smart, I would have done a while ago. So let's get into to where we left off a little bit. So where did we leave off? Oh yeah. So I did finish up the recapping on this guy. I released a video about it for the power supply the other day. He is ready to rock and roll. I've tested him out. Everything on that is great, which is fantastic. Works great, powers on perfectly. Where we left off was we had finished wrapping up this area over here, which wasn't a lot, but yeah, I kind of got tired and got talking about the prototype that I'm doing and just kind of didn't go any further. So this time we're actually gonna do some work this time, buddy. Let me tell you, we're gonna do a lot of work. I'm just kind of taking a look at the board, deciding where I want to start. And when I say where I want to start, you guys, I've talked about this before on my channel, but it's kind of a bit of an older stream that I talked about it. And whenever you're dealing with a board like this, it's important that you take the time to kind of decipher exactly where you want to start on something, and pick a direction and stick with it, for lack of better terms. I had started over here. The reason that I'd started over here, and what I recommend to you guys, is start in whichever area has the most damage, start there. Work in quadrants across a board. If you guys can tell, especially with your newer boards, this one is laid out, you know, A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, all the way across the board, right? So it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Work in those quadrants across the board and it'll make everything a little bit simpler. Also, if you're at home and you're following along with it, and you guys remember we have got Console 5's Tech Wiki up over here, which is a fantastic resource. You can go through all of the files or all of the individual capacitor locations on the board. So if you get lost, you can look at exactly what capacitor you're replacing and use that as a guide to get you back on track. If you're like me, however, and you stopped at some point in the middle of your replacements, I think we did this one. and you don't remember where you left off, then the only advice I got for you is good luck, Chief. No, just take a little bit of time, which is what I've done here. So I know that the caps that Console 5 sent us were a certain type, and so I think we did these. I do not think we got up into this section of the board, so I think we're just going to start here. That's a 2250. 2250. I know that we replaced this one. Yeah. That's a 25-100. This is a 2250 as well. Yeah. Yeah, we didn't do these guys here. They're still dirty anyway and dusty, so they would not have been done yet. That's okay. I tell you what, better yet. Aha, perfect. I've killed enough time now. Better yet, we're going to jump onto these guys right here is what we're going to do. These are all these extra tall. They are 6.3, 1500 microfarad capacitors. We're going to swap all of these guys out first. We'll just start here in this quadrant over and work on these aluminum ones, and we'll drop down to these guys over here. So if you're new to this, my recommendation is do not start on an Xbox. Don't start on anything newer than a Nintendo, than an NES. And the reason is simple. The vias, the size of the vias on this guy, on your newer consoles are a lot smaller, and you're going to have a substantially more difficult time clearing those vias on a board that is newer, just because of the size of them. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our soldering iron and some fresh leaded solder. The reason that we're going to use leaded solder is, and I've spoken about it before, is leaded solder has a much lower melting temperature. Generally, the last thing that you ever want to do is mix your solder because it changes the chemical formulation of it. And when you do that, what you will end up doing is weakening or stiffening the solder. Neither of those is ideal for what you want to do. So we're just going to take our solder and we're going to reflow all of these joints. Now, for those that did not catch up on any of the earlier videos, or maybe don't know what we're doing and why, I'm going to give you just a brief, this is why we're doing it. So electrolytic capacitors are kind of like batteries, right? And they're fantastic in that they will hold a charge, and then once the circuit is ready for them, they will release that charge. It's fantastic. Where capacitors are significantly more different is in that batteries can hold that charge for longer, but they can't deliver as much of current, right? And that's just all kind of par for the course when it comes to electronic devices. It's actually something that you want. Come on, there we go. This guy out. We're gonna rapid remove all of these is what we're gonna do. We're not gonna. Come on. Normally I would not. Oh, I missed one. You're dead. Thought I did. So capacitors are special in that they can deliver a lot of current real fast. However, their chemical makeup inside, the way that they're made, especially electrolytic capacitors, is significantly different than what you find in a normal AA or AAA battery. Okay, and what that means to you is that chemical makeup, why we have to end up changing these guys out, is capacitors, especially electrolytics, do not last forever. They actually don't last relatively very long at all. However, they do go through a significantly more charges and discharges in their life cycle than a regular battery does, significantly more. But when they leak, when they go bad by venting, right? And so venting means that the electrolytic fluid, the chemicals inside of them, physically leak out of the board. That is bad. That is not what you want. So what I'm going to attempt to do here is we're going to attempt to reflow all of these joints again, and then we're going to attempt to use our pump to pump the joints clean. And when that doesn't work, we will reinstall them by force, for lack of better terms. And I'll show you, we'll get up close on these guys. I'll get the microscope out in a second, and let me try to clear one or two of these before I aggravate myself, and I'll show you under a microscope what that venting looks like. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. Okay, let me grab a microscope real quick, and we will get down in here on this guy. Let me switch over to the microscope here, and let me find, this one has definitely vented. That one is bulging. You know, the problem with rolly things is they roll. Okay. So if you look at this capacitor, which I know that you can't see real well, right? So you see that bulging in the top of it there, okay? That bulging means that the chemical makeup in this, so these all come, if you look at the split X on the top of it, that's designed that way from the factory. And if you contrast that to this type that has just like a Y, but it's pressed in, okay? These, even though there's a pressed in Y on it, will most likely, if they're gonna rupture, they do what this one did, and they still rupture through the bottom, and that's because it's easier for the pressure to escape through the bottom than it is through the top of this guy, right? However, moving on to these aluminum style electrolytic capacitors, there's actually a cut X. It's cut into the top of it, but it's pressed close from the factory. And so when the fluid pressure builds up over time, which it will do, and these rupture, they vent out the top. And what that looks like, if I can round up the one, this is the one right here. So there is our fluid that has vented out of the top of this guy. That brownish, reddish colored gunk has vented out of this guy and leaked down. So if you continue, you notice how the bottom of it is pretty clean overall, right? That's what the manufacturer intends to happen, is that it ruptures out of the top. And the reason that they want it to do that is because over time, trying to find one of these that is less bulging, none of them, they're all pretty well bulged. Over time, what happens is that if it just vents a little bit at a time, you actually end up with getting more life out of your beloved electronic device. If it ruptures quickly, then what ends up happening is and it ruptures out of the bottom especially, what ends up happening is your beloved electronic device is completely and totally ruined. So in the case of retro electronics, vintage electronics, and vintage game consoles specifically, because that's mostly what we deal with around here, that electrolytic fluid is quite acidic and will eat through this green color. That green color is solder mask, and below that is copper traces. And when it eats through that, down into the copper trace, it's about time to refill the isopropyl. What ends up happening is that it breaks the trace and the electronic device no longer functions. We, around here, want our electronic device to function for, well, theoretically, forever, right? We want to be able to take it and play with it, and then in 10 years, we want to be able to pull it off the shelf, pop in Mario, or in the Xbox's scenario, pop in Halo, and go destroy some noobs, right, in Halo, right? We want to take Master Chief and show the world who we are. And so the way that we do that is by replacing the components as needed. Now, under continuous usage, these components will last a significantly longer time. I have created a problem. I've solved the problem. So we're going to go through and replace these. And this, again, I'm going to drop back to, if you've never seen one of these, I know that I walk through this on almost every video where we do a capacitor replacement, but I'm going to go through it again. If you look very closely at our board, or at your board, if you're following along at home with your own Xbox, you will see these nifty little circles. And let me pivot the mobile camera around here, and maybe you guys can get a little bit better view of exactly what we're doing. Come here, mouse. Come here, mouse. I'm talking to my mouse. Not you. Sorry, my stepdaughter is here. So, if you take a look right here at these little circles, these are where the capacitors went, okay? And if you see this white side, okay, that is negative, right? Well, how do I know which side of my capacitor is negative? Well, if you look at the end of our capacitor, how is that coming out on screen? I don't know. Let me see. Let me see. How's this coming? Okay. So this blue side right here, or in the case of the older style, right, the side with the white stripe on it is your negative. That white stripe, or in the case of these, the blue, aligns with the white portion of your markings on your board. Now, some boards will not have that circle, that neat little circle right there with the white stripping on it, right? They won't have that. What they'll have instead, yeah, I'm not dropping a few here or there, nothing major. Okay, so what they'll have is a simple marking, and I tell you what, just because we're here and we're going to walk through it anyway, let me get the microscope out and we'll put this board back under the old microscope, and I'll show you up close and personal exactly what you're wanting to look for. So they come right down here. Perfect. Nailed it. So, let me getting the lighting. There we go. Perfect. So, in this view here, you can clearly see the little circle that they've indicated, and the white side represents negative, and you can also see a little plus, right? This little plus indicates positive, right? If your capacitor has a stripe on it, that's negative, so it goes on the opposite side. It would go over here, right? If it's got a blue line or a red line or a red section or a blue section or black section, that's negative. It would go over here. Some of the older boards don't have this. All they'll have is a plus sign. Look for that plus, whichever one of these holes it's closer to, right? Whichever one of these holes, that's your positive. Simple enough. However, if you forget all of that, you can always just Google it, right? If you just happen to forget all of that. So back to work over here. So generally, when your capacitors come out, when you try to pull them out with your hot air or with your rework station, generally they'll come right on out, man, no problem. Sometimes though, they're a complete and total pain to get out, and they don't like to, and they won't. So what you have to do is be a little bit creative. And so what I've done here is I've put it in its slots where it belongs. And what we're going to do is very gently heat up both sides of this. And if this doesn't work, come on. He just really does not want to go in there, does he? It's okay, no problem. I tell you what, sometimes this is why I say if you're gonna do one of these, don't do a newer console. They take a certain level of patience and skill that most people are not going to have, especially if it's your first one. I'm not saying you can't do it. I want you to try. I want you to be good at it. What I don't want you to do is accidentally destroy your console. Voila, nailed it. So the technique that we just saw right there and that we did is called a hot push, right? Okay, and so what that means is that we applied solder to our through hole vias. We applied fresh solder to them, and using that fresh solder, we pushed our capacitor back through it. We did not push it dry, okay? We did not push it with force, okay? I didn't force it through. I just applied a little bit of fresh solder and a lot of patience, okay? You don't want, whenever you're doing something like that, like what I just showed you, right? That hot push is you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to get the component too hot. You don't want to get your board too hot, and you don't want to force by any means. You don't want to force the component, the capacitor in this case, through the board. If you try to force it through, what you will end up doing is damaging your board. Those little vias are little bitty, tiny pieces of tin. And when you try to force them through, or when you try to pull an old one out and you try to force it out, what you will end up doing is, instead of gently removing it, you will end up ripping the entire trace out with it. And that is the quickest way to have a very bad day, because you will end up with a ruined console, especially, and then you'll end up sending somebody like me, or Voltar or Dakota or somebody else to fix it. If you rip a via out, it can be fixed. It's really not that complicated. However, I'll say this, and I say this, I've done it. If you rip a via, chances are you probably should not have been working on the board to begin with. However, there are people that can fix them. Taking enough time and patience and some skill, anything can be fixed. Time and patience being the primary indicator there. If you don't have time and patience, you're in a world of mess. I'm actually fixing to switch over. We're going to hot air a bunch of these guys in instead of doing it this way, is what I'm going to end up doing. Probably. I may try one. I generally don't like the aluminum electrolytic capacitors that have, come on, geez Louise. So the ones that have the flat tabs at the bottom, right? Those tend to be a little bit, there we go, there he is, come on. There it is, nailed it. The ones that have the flat tabs on the bottom, they tend to be significantly easier to deal with, to cope with, than these guys right here are. These tend to be a complete pain. The flat tabs, you can hot air on and off the board really easily. And I'll show you a little trick, because I think we've got some on this board to deal with, to removing them. A trick that I learned a long time ago, and I get screamed at enough from people, you don't do it that way. Listen, I'll show you. It's great, it's fantastic, it's a great little trick. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. So we've got these two guys in here. We're going to drop back and do this one right up here. on this top edge because he's the furthest one away. We're going to do him next. And then what time is it? 8 o'clock? How long have we been on here? How long have we been on here? Oh my God, I've ruined everything. Oh my God, I'm ruining everything. We're what, about an hour and change, give or take? I don't know. Something like that, yeah. So we're going to toss this one in. Hopefully with a little less fanfare and fighting than the last two. Most likely not. But I'm going to toss him in real quick. And come on, come in. Every time I go to move it or wiggle it even a little bit, it just wants to move. That's what it does. Beautiful. Come on. Come on. Got one side to go through. The other one doesn't want to cooperate yet. Oh, I got the wrong side through. I'm sitting there trying to heat the wrong side. Dum-dum. The problem with hot air flowing these in is that you end up overheating the board. These are, I said, these are just a pain. Every one of these aluminum, these have the real thick legs, right? And the leg is literally within a micron or two the size of the hole. So they'll go through, but they really don't like to. They want to fight you the whole way. However, yeah, that's what I thought. Got it. Sorry, this one's just being a real challenge. There it is. Nailed it. That one was just really being I'm going to say a challenge because I try to maintain somewhat kid-friendly. Even though I curse like a sailor in real life, I try to maintain somewhat child-friendly. Mostly because my stepchild's occasionally pop on and go, hey, I watched your YouTube channel. And I say that. I do appreciate them watching my YouTube channel. I really do. Genuinely, really do. I appreciate all of you guys watching my YouTube channel, you know. I'm not, you know, I'm never going to be a Mr. Beast or a, and I say that, you know, who knows. Most likely, though. Probably never going to be a Mr. Beast or a, you know, Linus Tech Tips or whoever, you know. I'm most likely never going to be that guy. But I try to put on a fairly good, decent show for you guys. Something for y'all to watch. And I do try to keep it relatively child appropriate. You know, now, flip side of that is, you know, catch me on 8.3 of Mario. Ugh, that's not pretty. Catch me on level 18 Tetris. All of a sudden, I'm not very child friendly. That's inappropriate. Yes, it is. I need to. Oh, I ordered it, by the way. I meant to tell you guys, and I didn't tell you, but I meant to tell you, but I didn't tell you. I ordered it. Aren't you proud of me? I ordered the adapter, the composite adapter, for my streaming card or my capture card. Yeah. So come here, you. So I can start streaming a couple of things, some games. How would you guys like to see that? See me screw up some games. Well, if you don't want to see it, sorry. If you do want to see it, join in. Because I did order the capture card finally. So it is, or the adapter for the capture card. By the time it's all said and done, I probably could have just bought like a FrameMeister. I could have just bought a FrameMeister by the time I'm done. But I don't know if you guys are aware or not, the way I do things. Nothing I do is ever done the easy way. You find the most complicated, difficult way humanly possible to do something. Oh my God. Okay. I may have made a mistake by flowing the top of this. I may have made a mistake. May have. I don't know. Give me all the things. Give me all of the things. Give me all of the things. We're gonna try. I don't know if you guys can even see this. I'm gonna attempt to hot air this guy in. I don't know. We're gonna give it a shot. I doubt that this is gonna work. This rarely works on these guys, but we're gonna give it a shot. Uh-oh. I don't know what that was, but yep. I didn't think that was gonna work either. But at least I called it first, huh? Okay. You know what I should have done? But I didn't, but I should have. But I still think I can. I just gotta find it. Just dig around and find it. I should probably, if I just change the tip out on my nozzle, on my you know what this is? This is too many things working on at one time. See, I know you guys probably think I'm literally only working on this Xbox, but I'm really not. I've got 12 different consoles I'm working on right now. 8, 10, 12, something like that. I don't remember. Something like that, yeah. A bunch. Matter of fact, another one just came in the other day. So that's awesome. Let's add a little bit. My concern here, by the way, is overheating these. Overheating the board. Let me try to find. Let me just try to find one. You guys want to see something really stupid? Watch this. I actually have a tool for this. I have a glove. Whew. Man, that is insanely hot. Would now be an appropriate time to clean this, by the way, with it at 4 million degrees? For those of you guys that do not know, this is not quite 4 million degrees, but it is 420 degrees centigrade, Celsius, science units. Yeah, it ain't cool. And when I say it ain't cool, it is. This is definitely, she's hot. But it's got to be, right? So it has to be extremely hot. Look at that. That's beautiful. Look at all that. I should have done this. As usual, I should have done this before I started the stream, but it didn't. So, yeah, sorry. This will also be extremely hot. No, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Yeah. However, while that ain't too bad, I got a beat. Who beat me? Somebody beat me. So the wife is away on a girls' night. She told me the other day, I don't know, it's a week or so ago, a couple weeks ago, something like that, that she wanted to go out and go on a little mini vacation with her girlfriends and do a thing. And I don't know why she tells me like she's asking me, like I'm going to say anything but go away, you know? I've never really been and I don't really understand the whole, you know, jealous, you can't go. I don't understand guys that act like that. I don't. Why would I care? I don't care. Go away. You know? There we go. Beautiful. Now, one more thing. Now we got that out. If I can find it. Perfect. If I can find it. Should be down here. Maybe in this one. Generally try to keep them pretty close. Looking for my extra nozzles. I know I have a ton of them. Just don't know put them all at. The last time that I had them out. We may just put the one we have back on it and pray that it does better. Before I do that, I want to look. I really could have swore I had them like right here. I guess I don't. Oh, there they are. Found them. Perfect. Let's find the new one. Sorry. Which one is it? This is the right one. That's the one we're looking for. I'm going to tell you, if you are doing, if you have a, so this is a solder removing, reduction. My brain's fried right now. I'm sorry. This is a, this way, dummy, this way. This goes on that end. I have to think about this. I'm terrible. This is the one piece of equipment, by the way, that I do not clean frequently. Not nearly as frequently as I guess I should, which is probably very bad, but you know. I'm generally very astute about keeping my equipment very clean and orderly and all that stuff. This one though, I don't do that with him. He just he gets a hot supper every single time. It's not that I don't care about it. It's just that I don't know. I guess his job is kind of like your vacuum cleaner at your house. You know, it does a very specific job of cleaning the floors, and you don't go after it all that often and disassemble it and clean it. And things that are designed to clean up a mess, it's funny, is generally the last things that we take the time to clean. At any rate, so this desoldering pump, desoldering iron, right? Beautiful. Okay. Sounds so much better. It's happier. The world is good. The birds are singing, all that stuff. So anyway, so yeah. So the wife came and she said, I'm going to go out with my girlfriends and go out for a girls' night or a hen's night or whatever else. We're going to go out of town and get a hotel room. I don't care. Go. You know. So she is not here. So I've been trying to tell her all day to stop calling me on the phone. I don't want to talk to her. She just keeps calling me. I don't know. Like, if you wanted to go out with your girls, go out with your girls. You want to stay home and talk to me, then stay home and talk to me. You're going to have to choose. I think we're close. If you'd have told me what I do when I do, I'm going to go up to like 450. And I'm going to go up to like 450. We're going to get hot. We're going to get some heat in this guy. Oh. I got a thing over there that's beeping. I don't know what it is, but it's been beeping for months. I don't know what it is. It's in the cabinet over there. Got a lot of 12-volt powered gear over there. Routers and such and things. And so I bought a Meanwell power supply, stick down there, and just wired everything to it, thinking that that would be a quick way to distribute all the power. And it does work really well. Come on. Legs are bending. That is no good. You don't want to do that. You guys can't even see what I'm doing, can you? Not at all. You gotta say something. Remember, I get this stuff over here where I can see it, and then you guys can't see it. You don't say anything. You gotta tell me when you can't see it. How would I know? Let's try one more little trick. Let's try one more little trick. You might work. You might work. This thing's really starting to aggravate me. It's like I can see it trying to come through, but it just won't. I don't know. I could probably, I don't know. Do I have enough light down here for you guys, by the way? I don't know. Like, it is right there. It wants to go through. It wants to, but it just won't. There it is. Got it. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is a prime example, a prime perfect example of why I say don't start with a newer generation board like this. Just don't. And I say that that's not me doubting or debating anybody's skill or ability in any type of way whatsoever. That is me telling you, whatever you do, don't start with one of these. Just don't. You will pull your hair out on these newer boards. They are an absolute nightmare. They really are. I have all the tools in the world, and I've been doing this for years, and all the skill and practice, and you know, I mean, I suck, you know. But legitimately, this ain't easy. And I can't tell you how many times that I screwed something up before I learned how to do this properly. There's a song, I don't know the name of it, I can't remember it off the top of my head. Look at how easy. There's always one that goes in easy, isn't there? It's always the last one. Every other one made me fight for it. This one went right through. So there's this old song, I don't know the name of it off the top of my head, but I say old song, it's a fairly new song, I guess. I don't know. It says, if you're gonna be old and wise, you gotta be young and crazy. Man, is that true. You have to You got to really, especially when you're dealing with small electronics. And to be honest with you, I mean, as far as this it's so funny. This generation, this, I don't know what you call it, generation, this model, this, I don't know, of electronics is, it's at a really strange point, right? Like immediately after this, everything got so much better. And immediately before this, everything was so much better. But this particular generation right here of electronics is just, we were at this weird point where we weren't quite ready for micro, nano, whatever you want to call it. But we weren't quite, but we thought we were done with the giant older stuff, right? So this generation of electronics is just at a strange point in our history of electronics, and it is notorious for being just difficult to work with. You go on to the later generations, you know, the Xbox Ones, the Xbox 360s even are a little bit better than this. You go on to that generation, and you know, further on, another generation on, and things get significantly easier. Now, I want to preface that by saying don't go and start on that either, because that generation is where we really did make a big move from, you know, things being through hole to almost everything was surface mount. And when you move to surface, or to from through holes, micro through holes, to surface mounts, micro surface mounts, man, you can get in trouble in an absolute hurry with these boards. Because if you don't know how to hot air flow things on and off a board, you really can cause a lot of damage really fast. So I do not recommend that your step from working on a Genesis be here, but I also don't recommend you going any further either. Stay here, you know, make each step in chronological order. I hate to say this, but I'd rather see you mess up a board or two, you know, and learn how to do it properly than let me kick you back down. That's good enough. We'll kick you back down too for now. After that, I need a quick little cool down before I yell. So look, my new button. It's my new thing. Look here. Voila. I'll be back here in just a minute, guys. All right, guys. Well, I'm back. I'm back. Oh, I gotta hit the button. Hit the button. Hey, I think too, and I forget to do this for a lot of reasons, but I think if I bring this guy down a little bit more, and I tilt him out just a little bit more, hopefully, I gotta adjust this. Just wait. There we go. That ain't too bad. That isn't too bad. I think I can also bring that down a little bit. I can maybe bring these guys down a little bit more. There you go. That's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. Okay, cool. So, so I'm probably going to, let me think. Got these done. I need to do these down here. I need to do this big guy. I need to do all of these up here. So I said that I was going to show you guys how to do one of these, and I'm going to on the stream, and then I think we're gonna probably, where are the rest of them at? There it is. There's that big guy right there. This is the one we're gonna change out. We're gonna change the big one. See, here's the problem. If I change this now, I won't remember that I changed it, but I promised you guys I'd show you how to do it. Do I do that one, or do I do this one? Oh, hot air gun on. I haven't decided. If I want to keep working on these through holes or do a surface mount, because I promised you I'd show you a surface mount, or one of these surface mount guys, and I'm definitely gonna, but it's not that it's getting too late, it's that I'm old. Yeah. So I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to show you how to do this guy right here. And I'm going to show you how to do it in a couple of quick, easy steps for you. So the first thing that you're going to do is grab a hold of this guy with a pair of preferably needle nose pliers. I can't find mine right now. So you just want to grab a hold of it, and you just want to start gently twisting back and forth. See how I'm just barely moving this guy back and forth? That's all you want to do. Just gently twisting him. This is a twisting movement, not a pulling, not a rocking back and forth. We are twisting. Just getting a hold of him and twisting him. One side's already broken. We're just waiting on the other one. There you go. You just want to twist them off just like that. Comes right off. It's amazing. It's super, super, super simple. And so the reason that I show you that is you can hot air these guys off till you're blue literally in the face. And you will hate life and you'll be miserable. And it's a terrible experience and all of that. You can do it that way if you want. You do you. Me, this way is easier. This way is faster. This is the way that I am going to recommend that you do it, especially if you are new to doing these. Now, let's talk about the hazards that goes into doing it this way. The number one biggest hazard is, obviously, that you rip it off the board. Don't do that. Do it exactly how I just showed you. Go nice and slow. Take your time. You're in no hurry. Oh, wait. Now that I got him off, I need to get the microscope down here. That's what I need to do. I moved everything closer and now I can't get the microscope out. Wrong. Got it out anyway. Okay. Let me switch over to this. Right here. Perfect. Okay. There we are. So if you look very closely, give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second. Let me find my pokey thing. Gotta find the pokey thing. Okay. So this is where this capacitor used to live, right here. Okay. And if you look at this little piece right here, this is the old leg that was on him. And so all I did, let me come over and find another one, is I grabbed a hold to the top of this guy and I just twisted it, okay, until those legs right there snapped off, broke off. I just twisted until they broke off. And now I'm just going to come in here, my soldering iron, and I'm just going to remove that with a little bit of solder and a little bit of flux. I'm just going to flow that leg that's left there right back off the board. The same thing again over here. Make sure that our pad is nice and clear. Our leg is removed. Same thing here. Beautiful. That's what you want it to look like. Now, if you look very carefully, you can see the shape with these angled sides right here of our new capacitor. This guy right here, okay? And if you look, I literally can't find anything right now. This is ridiculous. Give me 1 second. Let me find it. I know that I had my little fine point tweezers a few minutes ago. I know I had them because I was using them. Now, I cannot find them. It's okay. It's all right. There they are. Found them. I put stuff down. Okay. All right. So if you take a look at the bottom of this guy, get a bottom view of him going on here. Right? You see these angled sides? Now, if I remove him, you see those angled sides? So if you can guess, and it's not hard, but if you can guess at all, you already know where I'm going with this, don't you? You know exactly how to put this on here because it was pre-set up for us so we couldn't fail. Right? So what we're going to do is we're just going to come in here and just gently tin each leg, just gently, just barely heating it up. Okay? Just like that. Gently tinning each leg. Now, we're going to put a little flux down. We're going to pay attention to our orientation. And whichever side you can get to the easiest is the side that you're going to work on first. So because I'm right-handed, because that's the side that I can get to the easiest and see the easiest, is the right-hand side, that's the side that I'm going to work on first. Maybe. Maybe not. Doing this under a microscope is incredibly difficult. But I guess there are worse things in life. So, once we get him roughly down in position, roughly, slide this over here where I can get a semi. Oh, I slid him too far. Why is my watch going ape shit? I don't know, but it is. I don't know, but it is. Okay. So roughly down in position about here. We're just going to get our leg right in place. And we're just going to heat him up, and that's it. We're going to rotate our board so that we can get to the other side. Okay. So you can see our little leg sticking out right here. This little bitty piece, that's us. So we're going to get him in position. Put a finger or something on top of him, just gently. Tack him in. Okay? I did that because I can't really get to this the way that I need to on screen for you guys. No, I can't get to that at all. Not where you guys are going to be able to see it. Let's try him this way. Aha. Be 10% smarter than anything you're going to own or operate. Not a lot, just 10%. That's all you got to be. Clean my tip up. Now conversely, you can hot air flow this on here. Let me tell you why I don't do that. Explain why, okay? So the reason why I don't do that. Now conversely, you can hot air flow this on. Still didn't get it. Let me tell you why I don't do that. There it is. Nailed it. I think I did. Nailed it that time for sure. Double check our joint on the other side. Got it. So the reason that I don't like to hot air these on is because underneath of these little aluminum surface mount capacitors sit on this little piece of plastic, right? And if you're curious, because this one is from our old one. So this is my hot air gun. Okay. I'm still warming up. Okay. That's why. Right there. That's exactly why I don't like to hot air these guys on. Because you're going to throw a lot of hot air at them, and when you do, I tell you, let me switch back over. I want to look at this under the microscope again and just make sure that I got both sides real well. Right there. That's exactly why I don't like to hot air these guys on. Because you're going to throw a lot of hot air at them. I'm not super happy with that yet. When you do hot air him on, sorry, brain freeze for a second, you end up melting that plastic. So, yeah. That's why I don't. I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life. I'm not even your real dad. You can do whatever you think is wisest and best. But for me, that's why I don't do it. And that's why I recommend you don't do it. That's why I recommend landing those guys with a soldering iron. Your chance of success with a soldering iron and a fine tip is significantly greater than you might think. Okay, I like that. Let's check our other side real quick. Yeah, that's perfect. Perfect. Excellent. Okay. Put you back up. This is not going to work. I'm going to have to move that light. I'm going to have to move it. There's no option. So, there's no option. He's got to go up, way up. Okay. So, let's do, come here, you, come here, you. Let's come over here to this one. So, I am going to finish these tomorrow. I might finish them on stream. I might finish them off stream. I don't know yet. I'm also going to go ahead and tin my tip. So for those of you guys at home watching, keeping your tip properly tinned is critical to the success of your project. What does tinning your tip mean? So tinning your tip is once you're all done, right? And you're finished working for the night, for the time being, right? What you want to do is before your tip cools off, apply a good thick coat of fresh solder to it, and you'll be ready to rock and roll. Next time, what that solder will do is form a coating over the end of your tip, and keep impurities away from it, and make sure the next time you go to use it that it flows properly and it works just the way it's supposed to. Perfect. Great explanation, nice and short. So, I may do this on stream, I may record it before stream, I don't know. I did get another thing in the other day that I want to show you. I should probably not do it the way that I'm fixing to do it, because it's got my address on it. But hey, both pocket knives that I've got sitting right over there. I did get another thing in. I got a thing. It's over here. I don't know. I got another thing in, and I'm pretty excited about this one. This is going to go in my personal collection. This is not for you. You can't buy this one from me. It's funny. That saying right there, you can't buy this from me. You know, because at the same time, I'll turn around and say everything's for sale. You know? Everything is for sale. Everything is for sale, isn't it? But this one, this is going on my shelf. I'm excited about this one. So I've got the original one, but I ended up, as a younger me, I ended up buying one of these. Obviously not this exact one, but I ended up buying one of these, and I even had the little add-on that would allow you to travel with it. You notice how I'm being particularly vague and not saying much? It's because I'm unwrapping it. I have to get it unwrapped before I can show it to you. The seller did a great job, by the way, of wrapping this thing up. So I got this. So I've got the big gray one, right? The huge gray one. I've got that. But what I didn't have was one of these. Now, I believe that this was sold not working. I don't remember. Let me get my phone. Let me get my phone and go look it up. So that is the original PlayStation, PS1, but it's not the original PlayStation. I mean, it is, but it ain't. It's, you know, the mid-year or end of life update, so that they can keep selling them and make money off of them, and all that stuff. So I'll tell you, as soon as my, you know, what's really, I gotta figure out what's going on with my internet here. So my internet, like as far as like speeds go, let's see. All right, go that way. So if I go like here, maybe I can I switch over? Can I switch over? I don't want to switch over because I don't want to show like IP addresses and everything. I just make sure it's not on there anywhere. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, my speed, I mean, I'm pretty quick, man. You know, I mean, it ain't the, oh, I didn't even show it. I just switched it over to there. Crap, now I gotta stop it. Go away, Microsoft Edge. Go away. Let's refresh. Let's do this. Let me hit go. All right, ready? Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty quick. Right? So I've definitely got plenty of speed. But the weird thing is, right, is that my Wi-Fi acts stupid sometimes. And so here's what I mean by that. Like I've got a mesh network set up in the house, and it is like it's quick most of the time, and then sometimes it's stupidly slow. Like right now, like then, like it's funny. I'll pull up speed test on my phone, and I'll be pulling like on Wi-Fi like 250 meg, right? But I can't open a web page. It's ridiculous. So, all right. So this guy. So I paid $20.50 plus $10 shipping. So I mean, I think I got a good deal, but I probably, you know, I don't know. So this was listed as 4 parts not working. Description doesn't give any. Did not receive the power supply, so it's being sold as is untested. So we don't actually know if this thing works because the seller didn't actually know if this thing worked, right? This thing might work. They don't know. They're selling it as is because they couldn't test it. So this one, I used to have one of these way back in the day. I had the screen, the little travel thingy. That's what I was telling you about earlier. I had the screen, so I got to track down one of those for this because this is going in my collection. I played the crap out of this thing. I really did, and I love it. I've got a PS1 in my collection, but I've got the big gray one, you know, and I had one of those, but I had one of these. I got one of these when they came out with them because they're smaller and cooler, right? You know, it's before we knew what we know now, and you know, what we know now is the first generation is the one you always want because that's before the manufacturer knows enough to fix all their stupid flaws that they left in it, so you can really modify the first generation, you know. But at any rate, you know, so this guy, yeah, I got him, very excited about it. That's going in my personal collection. You can't buy it from me. I don't care how hard you try, I'll sell it. Everything's for sale. Yeah, so I guess that's going to wrap it up for tonight. I guess that is. I wanna thank everybody that tuned in. I got to figure out. Some people know how, and maybe I'm just stupid and don't know how. And that's probably. I'm going to be honest. That's probably it. I'm probably just stupid and I don't know how. Right? But some people know how to. Crap. Some people know how to see like who's watching their stream and all of that. I don't know how. I've got to be honest, I don't. But I did want to give some shout outs again. Retro Cheating, if you haven't went over and checked them out, which of course you didn't because you're watching my stream, right? Retro Cheating YouTube channel, you definitely want to go check those guys out. oldtechlife.com, definitely go check those guys out. And for 100%, give my buddy a big shout out over at Harry Tornado. Give him a huge shout out. Go subscribe to his channel. Him and his wife are amazing people. Everybody here was amazing people. Go check out Colonel Falcon too on Twitter, the Twitterverse. Go give him a big hey, what's up? Shout outs beyond that. Yeah, that's man, everybody. You guys have been so great lately. I've been getting a ton of views on my shorts, and I've been getting a ton of follows on Twitter, and you guys are all amazing, man. You're great. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I really do. It makes me feel good, you know, and I appreciate that. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really do appreciate it. I think that's going to wrap it up for this stream. I'll be back. We're going to do something tomorrow too. I know I got to get like a schedule. I got to get like a this day at this time and this day at this time. I got to figure that out. But, you know, as I've kind of talked about before, things are a little bit hectic sometimes for me, and so that's tough for me to do. So I usually don't. I just kind of, hey, I'm going to go live in 5 minutes, and, you know, then nobody can watch because they're busy. So, sorry. But I'm going to work on that too. I am going to work on that. In the meantime, that's going to wrap it up for me tonight, guys. I am going to go to bed. I am going to let the 3D printer print, let it do its thing over there in the corner. And we should have something. How are we doing? Oh, wow. Yeah, we're making some great progress. Let me, if I grab this guy and I go this way and I go this way, you guys see over my fat shoulder or not? Yeah, you can see a little bit over there. Yeah. You see a little bit over there. Yeah, look at that. See a little bit over there. Check that out. Huh? Making some progress. It's going to be great. So cool. So cool. At any rate, guys, listen. Thanks again. Thanks for coming and joining me. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. We will definitely 100% see you guys. What? No, I didn't. I know I closed OBS. I swear OBS. I really like OBS. But I get telling you, man, shiny penny over there, squirrel. At any rate, guys, thanks again for watching. We'll see you guys on the next one.